Hey everybody, welcome to an exciting midweek edition of Markonomics 101, the place for education and information without fabrication. Today's episode, Waterfall ahead. It's a big one, and this is also baseball season, so we have our baseball shirt on. This is the Inland Empire 66ers single A affiliate of the Los Angeles Dodgers, and we're going to start the show now and show you some really cool charts. So the first one is the Dow Jones Industrials, and now we're going to show you something really interesting here. The Dow Jones Industrials is extremely, here we go. I got this thing. Oops, there we go. Actually getting very good at this. There we go. See, this is kind of what I wanted to start doing the second, draw really cool lines with this. And see, this is the Dow Jones Industrial. This is the uptrend that was broken. And so what we've talked about on last Sunday's show was how we were in maybe a head and shoulders type of pattern. Head and shoulders being where you make a low, a high lower than the previous high, or a rally high failure that usually precedes, a big decline possibly. The reason we talk about a waterfall ahead is that it's October. October is the month of crashes. Now, I don't know if we're going to have a crash. I'm not predicting one, but we are sure set up for some bad stuff to happen. So this is where you're seeing it first. The Dow Jones failing to make a new high. It's right here, basically right up here. The new high is in a different place. I'm just going to show you. Well, I'll now turn that to green. But in any event, the high is like right here versus right here. And that failure and this failure right here, this is not going to make a new high. Those are really bad signs. Now, here's where I would look at this. This is so important because you always have to ask yourself, what would tell me I'm wrong? This making new highs, that would tell me I'm wrong. So if this thing makes a new high, I will say, oops, game over. That's why you have to kind of let it play out. Okay. So with that, we're going to kind of continue on over to other things. This is the NASDAQ 100, same kind of thing. If it makes a new high, then, I would say that this operating idea is over. But also the way it's set up right now, check this out. This is an interesting pattern that, it's kind of, it's called an island, and I want to show you this real quick. This thing is an island. This being, I think you can scrunch this down a little bit. Oops, there we go. I'm trying to scrunch this, but see these 2 points right here, right here where I have it at the bottom. Well, anyway, those points, there's a gap between the rally and a possible gap on the way down. If that happens, and a lot of stocks are looking that way, like they're going to make an island top, those usually are very significant and they make the right shoulder very, very important. So it's a very important time right now, and a time to kind of, cash is king. That's all I can tell you. And we're going to go on to the next one. This is Standard & Poor's, same thing. Looks like it might have a little island there here at the very end. So I'm going to show you that just real fast. See, this little thing is like an island. That's the island I was trying to put the circle on. But those are bad formations. It closed on its lows. It might gap down tomorrow. We'll see on the overnight markets. They played really weak today. It was very weak trading. And this looks like a shoulder being made right now. So it's a real good time to take your money off the table, or the table takes your money off you. Really very important. You can always invest another day. So now I want to go through some of the stocks, because some of the stocks that are most important are really the ones that everybody's watching or investing in, this being Apple. Notice this one too has another island right here. I mean, it went all the way up yesterday and all the way back down today like that. And it has the prospect, because some of it was based on some news and some anticipation of great things, and it might not happen that way. Very often they don't. So just watch out for that. And it's also in a head and shoulders like everything else is. I get sick of hearing that, so I'm sure you do too. Amazon is another one, just same kind of thing. Let's see. So we've got this, and this, and we got that. So we got a head and shoulders here. It didn't, again, if this thing goes up from here above up here, all bets are off, but all bets are on right now. It just doesn't look good. Technology looks like crap, and so do banks. So, right now, I'd be really concerned about being too exposed, being too long. Okay, this is Facebook. Same thing, basically same thing. You have a head and shoulders. Once again, it is not a good pattern. I mean, rallied yesterday real hard, but, didn't go, oops, got this. There we go. Pencil. Okay. So it went this way, it's got this, it just, that's terrible. I mean, that is a terrible pattern right there. Right now, this is not a good situation when all the key stocks, all the high capitalization stocks are all making bad patterns. And for all of them to be doing it simultaneously is not a good sign. There's not much positive out there. This is Google, same thing. I mean, you can see the head and shoulders very clearly on here. I'm not even going to spend the time. Microsoft, same thing. Tesla. Now, this one's a little different, but I wouldn't fall in love with this company quite yet. I mean, yeah, this is a pretty good little, uptrend up here. I don't draw well, but I don't think it's going to break out. I really don't, because all the other companies are looking this way, and I think it's going to go, I think right now this company has such potential to go that way. It's not funny. And this is not a situation where you're likely to buy high and sell higher yet. So, if you've made a fortune in this, thank your lucky stars, be grateful and take your money off the table. Okay, let's go on to something else here. Okay, this is gold. Gold got hammered today. And, as I said on last weekend's report, this thing could go either way. This thing was starting to look bullish. It didn't exactly look bullish. And the way that I would draw this right now is actually somewhat on the positive side, but I'm not sure. I mean, for example, this looks to me to be like a bull flag. I mean, but we had this gap here today in this little tiny island. So, I'm still staying away from it, but my bet is that this thing has not much further to go down, and we're close to a bottom in it, and it's a time to kind of be looking at things. So that's what we're going to be doing. And on the next show is going to have some examples. This is silver right here. Silver was my big oops of the year, where I ate crow, and I'm going to eat it. But fortunately, I think if you look here at this thing, the red arrow is like this right here. The oh god, the arrow doesn't move now. Oh, there we go. Okay. So we've got a little bit of a of an uptrend, but it looks like it might break this thing and have just another leg down. So be careful about this. There will be another time, another place, not quite yet for that. So all right, this is the kind of company you want to be looking at. El Dorado Gold. Notice that it has performed incredibly well. I mean, it just made a new high. So it's not the right time to buy it necessarily, but this is the kind of company you would want to buy when the time is right. Okay, same with Seabridge. Notice how Seabridge is up near its highs up here. Seabridge is definitely the kind of company you want to keep your eye on, because it's made a very bullish flag up here and stayed very strong. So keep an eye on Seabridge, but not yet. There's another one called Wheat and Precious Metals. Another one, bullish pattern. Keep an eye on it, but not yet ready to act. Not yet baked. It may fake you out and go the other way, like ACG or GQ did on me. You don't want to deal with that. This is the dollar. Now, this is one of the things that is really, really important here. The dollar made a low, like it made a rounded bottom right here, and this is basically a really bullish formation. But it did kind of come back to down there. So let me see if I can do this. Oh, the magnifier. This is so cool. Watch this. Okay, so we magnified this, and you can see. Oh, here. Once I have to press it. Oh well, never mind. I'll just cut it out. That looked kind of cool. Anyway, there's a little island down here, right down here, and it looks like if this thing, if the dollar rallies, gold's not ready. If the dollar doesn't rally, it's kind of, you got to just check it out. I don't know right now. We'll know on the next show for sure. Something's going to give. I don't know yet. I just wouldn't want to have you take a chance. Now, the real story of today is the absolute disaster in financials. JP Morgan and Citicorp both presented earnings, and both were supposedly good. At least according to them, they were good. And basically, the companies went down. So this is the banking index right here. This is sort of a composite of them. Notice how at the very end, it kind of it starts to decline. This one actually doesn't show how bad some of the companies look. You should see some of these. We'll have up for you. But American Express, again, kind of curling over a little bit, but not really. This looks like it's the beginning of a decline. That's what I'm talking about. We're not there, but it looks like the beginning of a decline. Looks like the odds are growing. They're getting higher, and it is October spooky when it comes to stocks and things like that. I can put on my Jason mask, but it won't yet. All right, so American Express. Same thing with Bank of America. Look at that. See that little breakdown at the end. See, that's why the Dow is not making new highs, because so many of the Dow stocks are financials. That's why they're not making new highs. So they're overweighted. And this used to be a Dow company, but it's not anymore. But I'll tell you this, it doesn't look good. And what I think the market's telling us is that the financial sector is in trouble. And if it's in trouble, we're in trouble. The market's in trouble. It's going to be very serious. This graph right here, this chart right here is Berkshire Hathaway. I've talked about it a number of times. This is Warren Buffett's company, the great Oracle of Omaha, as he's known. He's had a fantastic track record over 4 decades. But this is a holding company which is very heavily weighted in in banks and Apple. And again, this is not good. This company is huge. This is one of the top 10 market cap companies, and this is representative of the banking sector, the financial sector. You cannot have the market rally with the financial sector behaving badly. Simple as that. You can't have it. It never will happen. It never has happened. It will not happen today or in the coming days. Just to scroll through, Citicorp, they supposedly had a great earnings report. Well, the way companies kind of flim-flam around with this stats, reserve for this, reserve for that, reserve for that. You can never make heads or tails out of it anyway. But the point is, this company looks like it's leading down. This would be, again, a company that you look for on the downside as a leader. And what it's telling you is financial sector's really in trouble. JP Morgan, again, this one is the blue chip of blue chips, but it went down. All right, it's going down. It's starting to curl over on a good earnings report, supposedly. And finally, Wells Fargo, they report tomorrow. This thing is, again, just going to go to who knows. Okay, so thanks a lot for tuning in. Be informed, not misled. And please hit like or subscribe or take us on if you don't agree with what we're saying, or just say hi. Talk to you soon. We'll see you on the next episode on the weekend, where we'll have some real picks for you.